As the war rages on in the Middle East, around 100 hostages remain trapped in Gaza. But tragically, we all know this, several dozen have lost their lives. 23-year-old Hersh Goldberg-Polin, an American, is among those killed in captivity since October 7th. Goldberg-Polin's parents worked tirelessly to bring him home right until the day he died. Elizabeth Palmer spoke to them about grief and why they feel their son should still be alive.
I moved my seat at our breakfast table so that I sit where Hersh normally sat, because I didn't want to see him not in his seat. You know, seeing him not there was very painful.
For months, Rachel Goldberg-Polin willed herself to believe Hersh would one day sit in that seat again. And then she learned he'd been killed by Hamas.
The gun was so close that the bullet was able to go through his hand, through his neck, and come out the side of his head. He then, we think, collapsed.
Hersh had been celebrating his 23rd birthday when he was abducted from the music festival. 6 long months in, Hamas released a video which showed him alive, though a grenade had taken off part of his arm. Then in August, the worst possible news. Israeli soldiers found Hersh's body in this tunnel, executed, along with 5 other young Israelis.
Hersh had been kept in a tunnel 60 feet under the ground with no electricity, no plumbing. It was 80 centimeters wide, which is about 2 feet wide. It was 5 feet 5 inches high. Hersh was just shy of 6 feet tall, so he couldn't stand. When we buried him, he was 115 pounds. The conditions were horrific.
It's day 328.
As soon as Hersh was captured, his parents started lobbying for his and all the other hostages' release. Just before they learned he'd been murdered, they were at the Democratic National Convention. The Goldberg-Polins, Orthodox Jews, buried Hersh last month.
Finally, my sweet boy, finally, you're free.
Even in their grief, his parents are determined to confront politicians who they believe are no longer focused on bringing the remaining hostages home.
We were failed. We were failed by Israel's leaders. We were failed by all of the world leaders. In 369 days, 7 hostages have come out through military operation. Over 100 have come out through a negotiated settlement.
Serious and urgent negotiations with Hamas are the way to save the hostages, they think, not extensive bombing of Gaza and expanding the war against Hezbollah.
I do have expectations that our Prime Minister would be doing whatever it takes to bring home our hostages.
And he's not?
I think the result is what we're seeing. They're not home.
That's the political fight, and there's a personal one, too.
You know, I'm trapped right now in this place psychologically where I'm scared to turn around and look back. And I'm scared to try to proceed forward in life without Hersh. And so I'm trapped in the extreme present, trying to just get through.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Elizabeth Palmer in Tel Aviv.